Hey, it's your girl KV back with another review, our last review of the season for Married to Medicine. This is season 11, episodes 17 and 18. Reunion part 2 and 3. Excuse me. It is hard for me to take notes on the reunion, y'all, because it's like so much happens, but at the same time, nothing happens. So I got enough to have a episode. I have enough to have an episode and to talk about things. So here we go. Another thing is I usually take gentle notes from watching other people's reviews. Baby, these folks must have forgot that Married to Medicine is a show, because I ain't seen nobody do no Married to Medicine review for this week because everybody's been so caught up on Atlanta Housewives with who is this hoe? Brittany is her name. And then Portia came with a YouTube channel and she's giving her side. And then Britt finally did an interview, so people are reporting on that like as I speak. And then Kenya's coming out with the YouTube to give her confessionals. And baby, I almost forgot about Married to Medicine because like I said, I see other people reviews and I will watch that a bit so that I can remember some things and everything without watching the full hour episode for a second or third time or whatever. So ain't nobody did it. My usuals, they have not dropped it, y'all. So here I am. Like I said, I got a sprinkle of notes on both episodes. So it's enough. It's enough. Y'all, Jackie looks so good. Jackie's makeup is wonderful. The dress fits and it's just so cute. Jackie's probably best dressed from Jackie and Mimi. Jackie and Mimi best dressed. Toya is best dressed for the thing. But overall, you know, I'm not really into the big, but I get that she was very much on theme. So let's get on into the episodes. This one little lock right here is like flipping up. Why is throwing the hooks? Why my locks trying to be cute? Okay, baby, calm down. So let's get to it. Oh, I did not put this stuff on Do Not Disturb. Okay, there we go. All right. Reunion part 2. They back on the subject if Damon got a side baby or no. Child, a lot of people feel like, oh, Heavenly ain't hooping and hollering. It must be true because she ain't hooping and hollering. Who knows? Who cares? If he do, he must have paid the baby mama off well, and she's sitting comfortably, so she ain't got to worry about coming to the people for a moment. If they don't, leave that man alone. Leave that man alone. And this is not me caping for Damon and Heavenly. I don't put nothing past nobody. If y'all been here for a while, y'all know I don't put nothing past nobody. I am a fluid person, and when I had a girlfriend in high school, she used to make fun of me for being fluid. And then this girl turned around, slept with a boy, and got pregnant and had an abortion. All that to say, I don't put nothing past nobody. Okay? And plus, Damon is a Q. And we all know how them Qs can get down. So, who knows? Who cares? A lot of people feel like, well, Heavenly don't ever bring her real life to the show and da-da-da-da-da. And that's why she do the most to keep y'all entertained, to keep us entertained, rather, to where we don't need her personal life because we got enough from her. It's plenty of other people that's not giving us anything. Curtis and Jackie, Simone, all we see of you is you over there cleaning your kid's house. So people being mad that Heavenly don't give her real life. Baby, Damon ain't putting her in no positions to where she gotta get on the screen and discuss any type of disrespect or, you know, turmoil within that relationship like some of these other relationships. So it's just never been that deep for me. But I guess, you know, I get it with you being on these shows. You feel like you giving your all, and then there's somebody who isn't. You're gonna have a problem with that. We get it. They talk about Heavenly's YouTube and how they be tired of her being on YouTube, and people be saying she doing too much. And sometimes she do be doing too much. Sometimes she do. Sometimes she just be saying anything. Heavenly is just a little hood rat. Like, take the doctor away, take the dentist away, take the grown woman, married woman with children. Heavenly is a little hood rat. Your mama. I mean, I can relate. I'm not necessarily a your mama type of person, but be fly out my mouth like, be what? Be what? And I had to get into the habit of saying be for YouTube and for my child, because I don't be wanting to slip up and curse around her. But sometimes it happens, and I have to tell her, hey, baby, you don't repeat those words. So, yeah. I was about to go on a tangent, but that ain't important. So they're asking her, well, she asked Andy, do you want me to stop my YouTube? Andy was like, well, I ain't got a problem with it, but you ain't on there talking about me, so I ain't the one to ask. And she like, okay. She don't care about everybody else. So next, they talk about how Tisha and her fertility journey, y'all. She has tried IUI twice and it has failed, so she will be starting her journey for IVF soon. And I said, this was a very, like, they glazed past it a bit because, you know, we don't want to have to go too deep her telling her business like that on stage, but I feel like that can speak a lot to why she may have been so angry and off her center this season. She trying to figure things out, and it's also another reason why she needs to get off this show. Your IUI might not be taken because you too stressed. You got too much outside interference on your life, and you just, you know, you need to free yourself of this mess. Free us of you and your crazy husband. They ask about Dr. G giving her the 2-year timeline. She said that was just 2 years as far as her trying to get pregnant. He wasn't saying that the marriage gonna be over. He was just saying that they would try different methods afterwards. Simone goes on this diatribe about, well, you know, he's an older man, and, you know, no one's trying to be 80 years old at a high school graduation, and da-da-da. And Andy's like, gee, Simone, thanks. That made me laugh because, oh, he got 2 kids. That made me laugh, y'all. Ooh, they was stewing. They was stewing. Do I mention that on here? I don't know if I mentioned it on the next episode, but I got 3 playing in my ear. And the way Greg was so... and they was talking about king and queen, and if a ring is in the future when they get married. Greg looked very much disturbed and jealous. Tisha was just kind of like, okay, whatever, you know. No, maybe, you know, never mind. Greg back there like, you propose, marriage. What do you expect, sir? This is why he needs to be off of the show. He literally came on this show to, nanny boo boo, I'm married and you not. That's why he came on this show. People say, oh, well, they brought Letitia. I hate so bad when my videos get interrupted because I can't stand having to sync them on InShot, making sure my phone got space to push it out. So, yeah, that kind of threw me off. Let me sip my tea so y'all. It was my husband and my child, though. It was very good reason for them to call, but still. Where was I? I don't even know where I was. But somehow they get quiet going on a rant about respect and how men need to respect a woman. And basically... she wasn't saying names, but she was like, a husband needs to respect his wife and speak to her better and talk to his wife better and da-da-da-da. They're like, are you talking about Dr. G and Tisha? She was like, well, yeah. T was like, girl, you always worried about Greg. You always worried about Greg. Andy's like, I don't think she is. Did you not get enough in the divorce? Did you not get enough in the divorce? Is what she said. Is what she said, y'all. And I'm jumping all over the place because I don't have a whole lot of notes and I don't remember what I wrote down in my notes. So I'm just, whatever comes in my mind, I'm just going to go ahead and go to it. So this is the part, it's another one of those parts where it's like, Tisha, this is why you need to keep your mouth closed and stop speaking on a relationship that happened before you. Because later on, when they're all on stage, men and women, Greg straight up says that he could have got quiet for some money. He was like, I could have got cash from you in a divorce. I decided not to, because he tried to make it seem like she got all this stuff in a divorce. She was like, what you mean? Like, I had my own. Yeah, and I could have got you for some of that cash. I could have got you for some of that cash. So Tisha, keep your mouth closed, babes, because you keep speaking on what you keep speaking on what Quad and Gregory had, and then whatever you saying, he come right behind you to debunk it. So regardless of what he's telling you at home when y'all pillow talking about what happened with him and Quad, clearly it's a lie, because he's let you sit up and embarrass yourself. Well, you've embarrassed yourself because you're the one that's repeating this at leisure when you truly don't have no dog in that fight. Like, I get it. I wouldn't want nobody talking about, oh, well, he a narcissist, oh, this and that. I get it. That would be a button for me. But let's remember, you came on her show. She was married to him. She is allowed to speak on her experiences. She is allowed to speak to the man that she experienced. So you being mad because you don't want her speaking on your husband, well, that's her ex-husband. And she can speak on what she went through. Period, point blank. Get off the show. It's literally that simple. You don't want to hear her talking mess about your husband. Get off the show. You can't silence this girl and say she can't never talk about her ex or can't never talk about her divorce that she went through if something comes up or if she's triggered. Yeah, she's still healing. And that's her prerogative to speak on what she went through. But for you to keep jumping in, he wanted that marriage to end too, and he's sitting right beside you. Well, you know, of course I fought for my marriage, making you look stupid. You must didn't get enough in a divorce. Well, I could have got some money from you in a divorce. So Tisha, let's just stop. Let's just stop. So next we get Heavenly and Contessa going at it. We don't hear what Contessa is saying, but I watch Heavenly's lives. Y'all know I love me some Heavenly. She is my problematic fave. And Heavenly said that Contessa was talking about her. Contessa was commenting on her body, calling her Rasputia. Heavenly said that Contessa called her Rasputia. And I believe it because the way Heavenly was saying it, it didn't sound like Heavenly even knew what it was to have made that up herself. But she said that Contessa called her Rasputia and was calling her all these names, basically calling her fat. And they didn't show that, but they showed Heavenly be like, you looking crazy over there with your titties looking crazy all far apart and stuff. And of course, Contessa, am I loud? I feel like I might be loud. But of course, Contessa took to her, my breast, you know I had to have a double mastectomy in her. And, you know, Contessa got very sensitive about that. I feel both ways about it. Heavenly claims she didn't remember that girl got a double mastectomy. We don't believe you. You need more people. But Contessa, the dress wasn't flattering on being so deep cut. It just wasn't flattering. And I get it, when people get that double mastectomy and they get everything taken out to put implants in, there's no fat to catch this part. You know what I mean? That part that makes the breast look natural. There's no fat to catch it because they've taken it all out. So it's just like skin, bones, titty. But Contessa, on that hand. If you know you have issues with your image, don't come for somebody else's. That's like me being bald-headed with alopecia, but I'm going to call somebody nappy head. Why? No one that they going to turn around and call me bald head, slick head, Mr. Clean or something. Like, if you have your own insecurities about your appearance, don't talk about nobody else's. That's literally, that's people in a glass house cannot throw stones. Because she say something about you, and what she said was, the dress was not flattering to your titties. Let's just stay off of people's appearance, okay? And Contessa is a beautiful woman. It's just her doing all that bodybuilding and being so skinny. It's just, is this bodybuilding or is this stress? So we see this little segment when they bring Mimi out where he's like, Mimi, describe everybody in one word or one phrase. Dr. Mimi was spot the freak on with the assessment of everybody. She gave Dr. Mimi, and I want her back next season. She did not get a fair shake. She needs to be back next season. And plus, she is able to tell Heavenly about herself in a way that she is able to receive it. And apparently they've been doing work behind the scenes. And we all know that Heavenly doesn't, well, she didn't even have a therapist first. I think she had a life coach. And the life coach, he did go over her ways and stuff with her, but more so, he made her dig deep to figure out why little Heavenly is up in here causing a ruckus. And that's when she went home, and we saw that, we learned that she wasn't allowed to play outside. She wasn't allowed to have friends. So the way she argues, the way she treats people, she doesn't know how to have friends and be a friend. Her emotional, her relationship growth has been stunted because of how she was raised. And I'm guessing between that and her being a likable person, that's why they give her so many passes. Everybody's always like, Heavenly does the worst to everybody and they just let her be. That should tell you something. That should tell you something about who she is at her core. Yeah, she could be nasty. Yeah, she could be unnecessary. Yeah, she could say some things that are just so, girl, what? But to the core, they still like her. They still want her around. So, you know. So next we see the guys are coming out. It's the end of episode of reunion part 2. The end of reunion part 2. We see the guys getting ready to come on out. They played the mess out of Dr. G because he trying to jump out the truck and his little feet just dangling out the car, and then he get out and he all pigeon-toed looking crazy. Then he gets to his room and he's like, I'm down here by myself. Where everybody else at? Where everybody else? And allegedly he asked for extra security, and instead of giving him extra security, they put him in a room all by his lonesome. You can tell that it truly backfired on him because he is being petty. He is trying to keep King away. He is trying to force Quad out of the group. Where I'm like, why do you think that these people, like I said, no matter how much they go back and forth with Quad, no matter how many times they fall out, I highly doubt that they're going to pick Letitia over Quad. I just highly doubt that. It's not likely. Okay? It's just not likely. So part 3 picks up where we left off. I don't even remember what the guys were saying on stage, y'all. It was on stage talking, but backstage is where the real action was going on. Simone be so annoying. My gosh, my Selman sister, why must you be like this? She's yelling at Quad again. I don't even remember how she started yelling at this point, but it's the same old, same old. You gave us your instant kiss for years, so we start hanging out with Greg and T, and we are allowed to usher in the people that we F with. And Quad calls her a dirty bitch. And baby, she said that from the depths of her soul. She quiet admit that. I was like, ooh, ooh. Like a chill came over my body when she said that. I was like, oh my God, she meant that. She meant that, y'all. I was like, I was a little floored when she said it like that. Let me put it on my side. I gotta look down so far. So she's like, you've never been there for us. You're only around and da-da-da. Quad was like, who is that for you looking for your daddy? Knocking down doors, walking the streets, looking for your daddy. Don't you dare bring up my daddy. You only there for the cameras. You only there for the cameras. And she spazzes out. Some people feel like it was wrong of Quad to bring up Simone's dad, but at that same hand, wouldn't it have been wrong for Simone when she brought up Quad's niece? Not saying that either is right or wrong. I'm just looking at things objectively. I don't have a dog in this fight to care that much, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of glad that Quad did bring it up. I am, because it seemed like it made Simone understand, because she ends up, when they get back on the stage after the fight, after they calm down and stuff, she ends up apologizing, and she's like, oh, well, now I truly understand how me bringing up what I brought up last reunion hurt you. So it took her bringing up your dad for you to understand how deeply it hurt when you brought up her niece. That's what it took, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't feel no ways about Quad bringing it up, because Simone needs to understand, like, she didn't have to go. She didn't have to go. Quad is a force on her own, and if she had not went on that trip with you, she still would have been being filmed. She still would have been being filmed. So she didn't need to go with you on that trip to be on that episode, to be filmed. Hell, even on the season where Dr. G got married and Quad wasn't nowhere near that marriage, that wedding. Baby, they showed Quad taking a shower at Quad getting ready for a bubble bath. Quad would have been in that episode, so I just don't think that Quad was only there for you to make sure she was on the episodes. I don't see it like that. I could be wrong. But I just don't see it like that. So for Simone to disregard Quad's role in being there for her when that was going on, I would be annoyed by that too, because don't act like I ain't never been no friend to you. You were only there for the cameras. But we've seen so many instances where they've posted stuff on their lives or on their pages where them folks hang out. Literally at the top of this season, Simone had a game night and everybody was there. And this was before the cameras was rolling, or, you know, y'all think it was before that shooting even started. And Quad was at your house kicking it. So I'm like, Simone, which is it? Is it Uchi Wally or is it one mic? Because we've seen pictures of y'all hanging out that wasn't on TV. And she was there. So that's what annoys me about Simone. She may have not acted like your best friend. She wasn't Jackie. She wasn't calling you every day. But it just seems far-fetched to say that Quad is only there for you or only talking to you when the camera's around. Now, when the season ain't filming, when y'all do her dirty, or when y'all might be on the outs, she might not be hitting you up on the off season. But it seems like those reasons for a reason. Whether it be her reason or yours, not just because I don't think she pulled a Melody where when the cameras go down, she ain't fooling on nobody. Melody from Love Marriage Huntsville. I suppose I Love Marriage Hip Hop. Same difference. So yes, Simone, they hollering, you a dirty B. They have to split them up. Like, production literally has to get in there and like break them apart, split them up, because it got super duper heated. Jackie takes Simone to another room and Letitia is following behind, right? They get to the room and Letitia was like, I just feel like Jackie said, no, Letitia, I need a minute. Just give me a minute. And sends Letitia on her way. Baby, that was the most Jackie done talked the whole reunion. That was the most Jackie talked the whole daggone reunion, y'all. I was cracking up because Tisha wasn't finna say nothing worth hearing. She wasn't gonna say nothing to diffuse that situation. You could tell by the way she was standing there and by the way she started off what she was finna say. She was finna say something to stir it back up. And that's what it was giving. And that's why Jackie sent her on about the way. Girl, they really don't like you like that. They tolerate you. And she's on her YouTube and, you know, doing these videos and stuff about, they just used me for a paycheck. They just used me for views. Duh. What else did you think it would be, my love? What else did you really think that they were really like, we want to be her friend? Their husbands wasn't even hanging out with Greg like that for him to have been in the group to where it was just natural to have you around. No, it seems like he didn't start coming back around until he got you. So why she thought that it was going to be more than what it is beyond me. So back to the man on the stage. Curtis is like, listen, Quad have to deal with all last year, you flying Letitia, you speaking highly of her. So now that she's doing the same thing about her man, why can't you take it? Period. It's literally that simple. You came on the show to rub it in her face, and now when she returned that energy, it's a problem, and she's being disrespectful. She's like, it's not being disrespectful for me to big up my man. That's me saying I sleep with him 15 times a week. Ain't got nothing to do with you. And people want to be like, well, it do when he still hurt from her not having sex with them as soon as after they got married and da-da-da-da. It don't matter. You got your new wife right there. So what happened in that relationship should not affect you to the point where you feel disrespected because she says she's sleeping with her new man 15 times a week. That's not disrespect. Well, I feel disrespected. Well, I felt disrespected. Well, go feel some way off this show. How about that? How about that? Understand why Letitia feel disrespected by the way you talk to her and internalize that. How about that? That's how I feel about that. Andy is like, so you said it would have been a fight to the death if you and King had gotten into it. Who would have died? Just wondering, just for kicks and gigs, who would have been the death? Greg is like, he half my age and twice my size. I didn't stand a chance. But I say you what, from what she said, if we both would have jumped and we would have had it. We would have had a chance. So of course they all laughed. Eugene's like, yeah, she combat trained. Yeah, she combat trained. I said, y'all are so goofy. So Andy asked Greg if he apologized to T for the way he talked to her. And King was just like, yeah, he should be doing that. And then, you know, hey, I feel like he fell into familiar grounds because he was used to talking to Quad like that. But he can't do that no more. And I just want to let you know that you can't talk to her like that no more. Okay? Disrespect your wife. Don't disrespect my girl. Okay? The guys feel like he should apologize to Quad. They acknowledge that he apologized to King for disrespecting Quad, but King feel like he needs to apologize to Quad as well. He's like, well, she should apologize to me too. She disrespected me too. Did she? Okay. But later on, he does end up apologizing to Quad. And she accepts it and she does not apologize back. I would not have either. Oh, well. Oh, well. So at some point, they're talking about how, you know, everybody has arguments with their spouse. That don't mean they're disrespectful and this, that, and the third. And Heavenly was like, not my man. My man don't talk to me like that. And then production plays this little clip of Damon gently reprimanding Heavenly for doing the most, as she usually does. And I'm like, what was that supposed to prove? Damon wasn't yelling. He didn't get disrespectful. He didn't demean her. He didn't call her stupid. He didn't call her naive, nothing. He just said she need to stop and she need to calm down. It just wasn't the same. Like, y'all tried. Y'all tried, but it wasn't the same. The way Damon talks to Heavenly is nowhere near the way Gregory talks to Letitia. So, I guess. Yeah, that part. We see Simone, and she's tired, Effie. Effie, she is tired of Quad saying that, that we did this to you, blah, 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 blah. But she's like, y'all kicked me off the trip. Y'all did do that. So, I mean, like, what? And she, she's standing steadfast that she didn't disrespect her and this, that, and they didn't want to send her off. And it's like, but y'all did. But y'all did. We see somebody acknowledges that Greg was the reason that things went overboard. Because a lot of people like to blame Quad because Quad was drunk and she was antagonizing them a bit. I'm not going to say she wasn't, but it wasn't like... It wasn't nothing to be mad, to argue about, I'll say. It was something to maybe be annoyed about in the grand scheme of things. But again, you came on her show to flaunt your wife. So when she does the same, sit there and take it like she did. Sit there and take it like she did. And her antagonizing wasn't even that bad to me. She was just drunk. She was drunk. I think she is perfect for Gregory. I think they make a perfect match. But we don't give a what you think. And that was what really kind of set things off. Because Quad wasn't being disrespectful. She wasn't. She wasn't. And it was Toya who was like, you gonna plan the baby shower? Yes, I'm gonna plan the baby shower. So, and I think at one point Quad did mention it was Toya that did that. But everybody wants to blame Quad because she was drunk and she was having fun. She was having fun with the situation. 15 times a week. 15 times a week. Do you see us? You see how in shape we is? 15 times a week. So they end up asking her this. I think this was around the time where they were asking Quad about her fertility journey, or maybe that was episode 1. We might have already talked about that in episode 1. Where she had Jackie to speak on it. I guess she's been getting some IVF transfers and, because she could be pregnant right now. We don't know. And they asked her, okay, well, y'all talking about a baby. When we going to talk about a wedding? She's like, we're not in a rush, but he already knows size 6. He said size 6. Size 6. I said, come on with it. Come on with it. And this one, Greg over there, face all twisted up. This one, they make Greg. They do make Greg apologize to T. And it seemed like this was his first time apologizing to her for talking to her like that. I said, you didn't apologize right when it happened, right after you calmed down. You didn't apologize when the episode aired and we saw how disrespectful it was. You waited until this moment. Okay, that's when they had brought up the whole Damon Cliff. People ain't disrespectful like that. When they first got back onto the stage, Heavenly is looking shook. You could tell she genuinely was backstage not knowing what to do because she apologizes to Contessa and says that she don't want to put their friends in that situation anymore because she didn't know whether to run to Simone or Quad because she just felt so bad. She didn't know who to comfort. She didn't know who to calm down. So she just sat there like... So she apologized to Contessa and they agreed to move on. We don't know where they're gonna go from there. We don't. They end the show with Dr. G performing that damn song again, y'all. He was performing that damn song again. T back there. Set me free. Set me free. Y'all, why they let him perform this? Because this is like, it's even worse in person. And she's like, no more performances. No more. I'm like, Contessa, not too much, boo-boo, because your husband was performing last on that stage. But I'm like, that's probably why she's saying it. She don't want his ass to get up there again. So, oh, they had me cracking up. They do ask the ladies to say nice things about each other, and they do. And you can tell, like, Quad don't have a problem with Letitia like they try to play it up to be. Quad just want Letitia to stop speaking on her marriage, like her ex-marriage rather. Like, don't act like you knew what was going on in that marriage just because you're hearing from what your husband had to say. Because 9 times out of 10, he's embellishing, he's lying, okay? So, yeah, they all say nice things about each other or one another, and it ends on a happy note. Hopefully they do not come back. Oh yeah, when Greg performs, he takes off his suit, his suit jacket and his suit shirt. He put on a little Kangol that says "I'm free," and he has on an access to the money shirt. A little access to the money. A little access to the money. I said, girl, you got access to the money. You got access to that mortgage too that you having to pay. Because why she do that thing with Simone where they sitting there talking smack and she's letting Simone, like, you're catching strays from Simone. And Simone, because Simone was like, I'm too busy being happy with my husband to sit up on the YouTube all the time. I said, Tisha, you be on the YouTube just as much as Heavenly. So she's kind of taking shots at you too. And then she was like, oh yeah, we almost done paying our quad house. I'm almost done paying our quad house. I said, baby, that's not a flex. You got a sugar daddy and you have to pay the mortgage. He put it in your name and you got to pay on the mortgage. You got a whole, this man is older than your parents. I'm sorry, if I'm marrying somebody that old, baby, I'm not paying for anything. You're a doctor. Why is that house not even paid off? Why is that house not paid off? So when the men get backstage, Eugene tries to chastise Damon for calling Dr. G a coward. And Damon 10 toes down on it. Yeah, I said it. Eugene was like, well, what if he tried to jump up and fight you? Damon's like, well, what if he did? He didn't. Do you want to fight? What's good? And then Heavenly is like, baby, calm down. Baby, calm down. And Toya was like, I would never put my man in that situation. And Eugene said, I'ma just Kendrick Lamar myself on up out of here. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Yeah, they made me laugh a lot during this reunion. I'm not gonna lie. It was pretty entertaining. Even though we just heard the same thing over and over and over and over again. I feel like it was 3 topics that just got continuously recycled. But all in all, cool little wrap up of the season. I'm glad it's done. This season of Married to Medicine was so much going on. It got dark quite a few times. I really do not want to see Greg and T come back because they just don't have a place in this group. I don't care how much y'all want to be like, Quad's not married to Madison. Quad's not married to Madison. She has been on this show since inception. Y'all say, well, she was out for a season. No, she wasn't main cast for a season, but she was still on the show. There has not been a full season where Quad wasn't here. So the fact that y'all expecting Quad to leave the show because she's gotten a divorce, for what? Then what's y'all storyline gonna be? Then who gonna be the fun one of the group? Because y'all not fun. Quad is the fun one. Yeah, so T and Greg can go. Bring Mimi and Steve full time. King, go ahead, put a ring on it. And they're gonna cast. Contessa, she can come back if she stopped trying to make beef with Heavenly. You tried to ruin my marriage. We don't need that. If that's what time she on, she can stay gone too. She can be gone too. But if she gonna be cool and be fun and be the contestant that we first met, that we like, I loved Contessa when she first came on the show. I was so mad at how Toya was treating her so bad. I used to love me some Contessa, y'all. I really did. She used to easily be my favorite. Easily. Until she started like, she was just doing too much trying to find herself. Like 1 minute you quitting your job, then you're like, well, actually, I'm going to go back to work, but only part-time. Yeah, girl, because your kids are grown, like not grown, but your kids ain't 2, 3, 4 where you needed to be home all day. And then she go from that to going to Nashville to get her master's. And I ain't gonna say she abandoned her family because she didn't. She wasn't full-time living out there. It seems like half the week she was out there, half the week she wasn't. Didn't set her husband up with a nanny and stuff. What I feel like she should have. She should have. I don't think that she should have stayed home. I just feel like she should have set him up for success. If you knew that household ran off of 2 people being there, taking care of them kids, taking care of the house, you should have put somebody in your place to be there. We get it. What was Donnell Jones' mama? Miss Renee? We get it, Miss Renee. That bubble scared the mess out of me, y'all. A bubble came from the bottom of the orange to the top, and it looked like a bug jumped in my drink. Y'all. The way Dr. Mimi gently checks Dr. Mimi, she knows she goes too far. We're working on some things and this, that, and the third. And Heavy like, I received that. I received that. She was on her channel like, you know, I must like the girl for her to tell me I like that. And I agree. I said, I know, right? Facts, facts, facts. But like can y'all hear that? Y'all hear the thunder booty clapping? Jesus, let me get up off of here and go for safety or something. Let me make sure all my stuff charged up, y'all. But until next time, well, I guess ain't no next time on this one because we done with this season, but I'm still doing Real Housewives of Atlanta. I am going to incorporate more book reviews. I don't want to do any more shows right now. I just want to keep it at what I got because I can't even keep up with that, especially with everybody dropping YouTubes and talking on these interviews and virtual reality and Access Hollywood and Watch What Happens Live. I think I'm going to keep it at Real Housewives of Atlanta. As far as shows that I review, I don't think nothing else I review is on anyway. Oh, I did see that Love at the Lockup is back, but I'm like 4 episodes behind, so that's a bust. But like I said, I'm definitely going to incorporate more book reviews. Y'all make sure y'all go follow my new Hood Health Report page. I am trying to build that page up. I'm trying to build this page up. 2025, I really want both pages to be monetized, y'all. So help a sister out. Please and thank you. Share the video. If y'all know some of the big YouTubers, because my faves right now, I'm really trying to get tapped in. I really want to find my YouTube tribe. I really want to do some panels. I really want to review some things with other people. So yeah, y'all help me out. If y'all got some plugs, plug me. Plug me. Okay? If y'all know who, let me list my people that I be watching. I watch Brian Keith. I watch Tammy Talks. I watch Roxy Says. It's Rocks. I watch Ashley Miller. Color Me Pink. Jamie That's Me. Bondi Blue. Help us out. Y'all know them. Get in there and be like, hey, KVENC, like, want to work with you. Y'all let see her little pose. She want to work with you. She want to panel. She want to, rub shoulders a little bit. Something. Just help us out. But in the meantime, like the video, comment, subscribe to the channel, share the video. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. I'll see y'all next week for Real Housewives of Atlanta. And like I said, I'll probably give y'all a book review next week as well. Bye-bye.